So if you don't know, now you know. Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes has put the certified stamp on their squad by getting another win against Nebraska, 36-14, and it should have been 36-7 if the second string didn't give up that bomb at the end of the game. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? But Deion Sanders had another cold game, 31 for 42, 393 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? I think he ran one in, too. I think he threw for 2 and ran one in. Weaver had 10 receptions for 170 yards and 1 TD. Travis Hunter had 3 receptions for 73 yards. Horn Jr. had 8 for 64 yards. Dawson scored a TD with 3 for 41. Dylan Edwards ran for 9 for 55. It was a good game, man. It was a struggle in the beginning. It was tight. They had to do some little recalibrating, you know what I'm saying? It had us biting the nails a little bit, but before the second half, they started to get their feet and they started to make some plays. But I just want to focus on the haterade that so many people has been giving this team and the confidence that Deion Sanders has had behind that. He keeps the confidence no matter what, but people like Jason Whitlock, who I just did a video on, it just blows my mind how much this guy calls into question Deion's confidence. Even to go so far as to suggest that Deion Sanders is actually feminine because of the overconfident way in which he carries himself. Like, what is this? I mean, this is one of the most ridiculous takes I heard on this, bro. He's been confident all his life, and that's just how he thinks. Some people think big, some people think small. It's no knock on you if you think small, but listen, I'm not one of the people that think big all the time. I'm in the midst of trying to transition my thoughts. And I get that being a sports analyst, like, you got to give logical takes on things, right? You got to look at, logically, Deion facing TCU, as I did, and was like, I think they're going to play a good game. I don't know if they're going to win, though. Deion don't let none of that enter into his atmosphere when he hear people talking. He hear it, but he don't let it take over his thought process. And then, when he wins, he going to remind you that he heard you. And that's what that's part of the game. Listen, so Jason Whitlock and everybody else that was thinking small-minded, just know that you can't force that on to Deion Sanders. Coach Prime is going to be Coach Prime. It's why it got him to this point that he here at today. It's why you still talking about him, even though you're hating on him so bad. You understand what I'm saying? And that's his prerogative to go tell people, hey, you didn't believe in me? I heard you talking crazy. I heard you writing those crazy articles about me, downplaying us, downplaying my son and all of this, all the hard work we put in all these years. Listen, I'm going to remind you, it was false. And we here and we coming. That's how you operate. Sometimes you got to put the battery in your own back because they ain't going to charge you up. The world can't wait to tear you down. And I'm happy to see Deion being confident and talking about God and telling them that he is here because of God. You understand what I'm saying? It's a confidence and a swag that most people don't have. And if you ain't got it, you probably won't understand it. You dig what I'm saying? We all need to learn how to believe in ourselves like this. Just listen to how he talked in this interview before the game.
It's the biggest story in sports, hands down, what you have done here. When you took this job back in December of last year, did you envision after 1 week this is what it would feel and look like?
Yeah, I think like that.
Yes, sir.
I think outside the box. God has never sent me to a simplistic place to do an extraordinary thing. He sent me to a place that you got to fix, you got to rebuild, you got to work, you got to get in there and grind, you got to get dirt up under your beautifully manicured fingers. You got to really work at it, and I love it. This is the right place at the right time, and the right team, and the right coaches, and the right fan base, and I absolutely love it.
Hey, Coach, congrats, brother.
Hey, my man.
All I worry about, I'm sure all you worry about, big win last week. How do you keep this team from looking forward or having a big letdown after that huge win last week?
Because they're not satisfied. These kids are hungry. They came here for a reason. It didn't fit where they were. It just didn't work out where they were. They didn't get the reps that they wanted. Now they get an opportunity. And last week, not all of them shined. A few of them really shined. And I said, you know, the difference of the ones that shined in you is the ones that shine. That's the way they practice each and every darn day. So this week, you're going to see some more that shine that was on the shelf. Watch. I can't wait till you see them.
And first thing I want you to remember is how he said, yes, Yes, I definitely envision this. This is how I think. I think big and I think out the box. And the last thing he said, this is how we practice every day. He said, I got some more players that you didn't see last week in the TCU upset that we gave them that you're going to see today. And you know how I know you're going to see them? Because this is how we practice every day. I see it every day in practice. And see, this is the difference between when you're trying to transition from being a small-minded person and being the person that thinks big. But see, you can't just think big. You got to practice big. You understand what I'm saying? And listen, I'm talking to all of us. I'm talking to myself. Because I've thought small in many years of my life. And it's something you got to condition yourself to get out of. You got to start conditioning, practicing every day of how to think bigger. How to not just think about your small little square that you in, and how to bubble up and think bigger. Coach Prime cannot do this without the coaching staff that he's placed around him, without the players that he's placed around him, without the system that he's placed around him. You can't do it all yourself. In order to think big, you got to operate big, which means you got to delegate. You got to hand out jobs to people and trust that they're going to do their job and they're going to do their assignment. That way this all comes together and it form like Voltron, as they say, and we do something great together. So I'm just saying, when you think of small and you're trying to transition into thinking big, you can't just think, you can't live small and think big, because only thing it is dreams then. It's just dreams if you just keep thinking big and not doing. So the thing is, if you are thinking small and you're trying to transfer into thinking big, then come on and take this journey. Listen to some of what Deion is telling us. Listen to that God in you and start doing big things in practice where can't nobody see you. Start doing things on your own, big. Start practicing and formulating your life in a big way, making little steps towards big things. You got to practice this every day. You got to set goals every day, even if they're small, tiny goals. As long as they are inching towards your big goal, you got to set those goals and start to tackle them every day. And you got to tackle them in a big way. That way, when you get to the big stage, it's going to look like you were meant to be there. You know why? Because you are meant to be there. Because you practiced to be there. And you're going to be so confident in the moment that can't nobody tell you that you wasn't supposed to be here. You understand what I'm saying? When you practice like this, you have a aura and a swag about you that it just comes off you. When you used to see Jordan walk onto that court, or Deion Sanders walk onto that field, they had that natural ability that God blessed them with, right? They had that. But they were crazy dedicated to practice and to getting better and to being the best. So when they walk into the stadium or into the arena, it's an aura that comes off of you that just lets other people notice you got it. You got it. And you can't get it off of you. You dig what I'm saying? It's in you now. Because you not only had the talent, but you didn't practice and hone that talent to a place where, listen, you can't tell me nothing about how I'm about to bake you right now. You understand what I'm saying? You couldn't have told Jordan or Deion Sanders nothing about the next play when they lined up against you. Even after you beat them. You could have just crossed Jordan up, did whatever you did. You could have just beat Deion and got 6 on him. Think that's in his mind on the next play. Only way it's in his mind is because he about to hurt you for doing that to him. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, man, a lot of people hating on Deion and that and other, and listen, it's going to be hurdles. It's going to be ups and downs. We ain't worry about that because it's more about the journey than it even is about the finish line. You understand what I'm saying? And I got that from a cold dude online. I'm going to find that video. We're going to do a video about that. It's about the journey. My man talking at the gas station, spitting knowledge. It's about the journey. You gotta pay attention to the little stuff along the way to get to those goals. That's the stuff that's gonna mean something to you. You dig what I'm saying? And it's been a long journey that Deion has traveled over these years to get to the place that he's in. And I dare you to try to think that you're going to take his joy away from him. You dig what I'm saying? It's too much that God done for him to get him to where he at. You dig what I'm saying? And all of us that's listening and trying to get to the paces and to the heights that so many others have made it, like Deion and all these greats that we talk about, just keep putting in the work, baby. Grind hard. Practice the way that you want to play in real life. And you're going to be as big as you want to be. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy P. Cam. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Get at your boy.